a majority of people that blow up in New York City aren't actually from New York City. But the people from New York City who blow up in New York City blow up much faster because they already had the foundation of knowing certain people. Right. And if they get it just so much easier.
I'm going to tell you, though, just in my music travel and entertainment travels. The New York used to be much more of a trendsetter, right?
Yeah.
So even for New Yorkers, what you're saying, right, only happens usually when they're big in LA, Texas, other, like...
No, that's true, yeah.
I've seen, like, we get so much more support outside of New York. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I've done, HBO type shit. You know, I've done a little bit of, like, I've been blessed to do a lot, you know? Yeah. And, but the support, we may come back here and blow. I mean, that's fine. I love my city. But it's like, it's different. It used to be like, yo, you get your own hood, you get all of that, and you're good. You build from that. Now it's like, especially in bigger cities, because I've heard LA artists tell me the same thing, or
Oh yeah.
Like you go to New York, you get more love. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I think sometimes it's like that. I think sometimes it's, like a lot of people know who you are. They've been around you a lot your whole life. They already know like your thing. Bro, as artists and as people, we need to fucking break out.
Yeah, of course.
We need to expand. You can't just become one thing in one place.
Well,
like, you need to spread your fucking love, spread your energy. Sometimes maybe your energy is fucking better for a different city.
It's just vibration and frequency and,
I agree, but I also think there's a different thing with, like, the way social media is now and stuff. It gives this kind of... kind of invisible pressure on everyone in society to be more than just a regular person, which is why people have a struggle blowing up in their own cities, is because the dude right next to him who doesn't do anything, he works for like FedEx or some shit, he's watching you rap on the street in front of everybody, trying to shoot your little music video. And like 10 years ago, this nigga would have been in the shit trying to be like, we here. This is the block, nigga, but it's the block. Now he's just like, nigga, that could be me.
Yeah.
And he's watching you.
But New York,
with that face on too.
But New York's been like that though.
Fuck that nigga.
Yo, in New York, everybody's extra, right?
Yeah.
Even the manager, right?
Like,
even the managers are like artists.
Yeah.
Like the managers here are trying to be art, in a certain way. You know what I mean? So it's just different. Like other places, you go to manager places, like they know their part.
Yeah.
And they're happy with that. They love that part of it. But here, everything is just New York.
And
so
because I've had that issue too, like just like you're saying, where it's like I've tried to collaborate with certain people and all that type of shit, and I started noticing it's like these people don't have the same commitment that I do to the thing, and the reason is it's like they don't actually want to do it.
Yeah.
They just see so many other people around them do things that they tell themselves they want a higher purpose, and it's like, who says arts is your higher purpose? Maybe your higher purpose is being a fucking paramedic. Maybe your higher purpose is whatever. Maybe you don't. Maybe your higher purpose is just being a dad. Who cares? But now everybody thinks that they have to, shoot something or sing something or do something to matter.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
It's a shame.
Can we talk about that a little bit, because you grew up.
We're into it already, right?
Yeah, we're already going. So I mean, you already you grew up in East New York, right? And you've been around and you've been in the game for a long time. Early 2000s, you were in T Weapons, which I didn't even know about, right? Until you sent me that shit before we came here, because our relationship, right, started through Caviar, and like you guys were making music together. You painted your studio, blah 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 blah. And, like, what was that like coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s? Like, because you were really doing shit as a rapper with your Puerto Rican team, right? You guys were from, well, actually, no, everybody was Puerto Rican?
Everybody's Puerto Rican. My brother and I, my actual blood brother's part of T Weapons as well, and we're Ecuadorian and Puerto Rican. So.
And was that Artifact that I met like 2 nights ago?
Yeah. What? No, that's Prophecy.
Oh, that's Prophecy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Prof is shout out to him though. But
I love New York
legend.
Names, bro.
Yeah, he's a legend in the Lower East Side. Like that's my bro. Shout out to him. My boy Mitty, Smackwitch. I don't know if y'all heard of that.
Of course, I know Smackwitch. Yeah,
those are all the homies, man. That's
awesome.
But that is the major difference in my humble opinion between then and now is like it's not that there's not talent now, because there is, right? There's a zillion, like, but there was something to be proven with your skill in the urban scene in like early 2000s, you know, like it still had to be really good, you know what I mean? Because everything else the artists go through, you still went through them, but on top of all of that, your shit really still had to be good, you know? And it's in that regard, especially in New York, you know, that has changed a lot. And still being blessed to be able to be in the game. And, you know, even how people network now is different, right? New York's taking this whole Atlanta strip club scene, and that's where the industry dudes are at. And it's like, that wasn't that way. You know what I mean?
It used to be, New York like used to run the entire hip hop scene.
And so now it's just like, I don't know, in a way, then you have pockets like ours that we don't give a fuck, right? We're just creatives, right? We make art, whether it's photography, acting, music. And so there's that new sector in New York that maybe was, you know, was there back then, but even more so now, you know. But the industry's changed a lot in that regard. Where we network, that, you know, that kind of stuff.
What do you think about the like, you know, the big like Bronx drill movement that's happening right now, and all the Ricos and everything? What's your idea of the whole scene?
Honestly, like, one of the ways I've been able to persevere and be consistent in this game and do some really blessed and magical things is really not focus on
other people,
other stuff.
If
I'm a big believer, like, we emit frequencies, bro. We're an aura. We encounter what we're supposed to encounter, and if we want to change that, you change. It's inner. It's not an outer thing. You change your frequency, who you deal with, like, you know what I mean. And you know, I'm just about good music, man. I'm sure there's a million, like, within any of these genres, you're gonna find good music, you know, but the overall message and just like music in general can be creative, fun, cool, and still give a subliminal message, you know? And it's always used to be that way up until, you know, recently, maybe 20, 30 years. If I swear to you, in any genre, I'm not just talking like hip hop or reggae, or if you look at just actual lyrics from like 60s to now, it's just, you see a steady decline, you know? And it's like, it's like, all right, so is society declining? Like, it's deeper than because the argument is all music now. These were kids writing these lyrics. It wasn't like people went back in time, adults, and were writing Nas's lyrics or Billy Joel but these are poetic lyrics, like, and something is different. You know, something is not as creative. It's not as artistic as it used to be.
Well, I think you can get a lot farther with less now.
Yes.
You know, it's like one thing catches on the algorithm, you know, and then it just spreads to everybody.
Right.
And these companies are willing to just throw money at anything rather than building an actual artist and putting their money behind them. And I think it sparks a lot of problems for the youth, you know?
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point, because I was actually looking up, like, I don't know, a week or two ago about like how old Nas was when Illmatic came out. And I think it released like right when he was like 20 or 21 years old.
He was 18.
Yeah, 18. So he wrote all that shit when he wrote it all when he was 18, 19 years old, right?
Probably less than that. He probably wrote it when he was like 16, 17.
I think his first record with Main Source was like when he was 17, 18. So, you know, it's just like, I don't think people are asking, or even when you're creative, you think about shit like this, right? The average person is not thinking about stuff like this.
It's true.
And that's the issue. The average person is not thinking. You know, they're just
they're not
following shit, and, you know, it's changed the way everything is listened to, you know. But at the end of the day, it's mostly consumer based, being fed whatever the art is, whatever is popular, like you said. And it's not just popular, whatever the latest trend is in this week, or or next week, or so. It makes for a less again, these are all just, in my humble opinion, creative aspect to how things are being produced.
I definitely get you, and I think, you know, what's even worse now is, you know, I feel like the media or these larger companies can simply just manufacture popularity.
Right.
And they've always been able to, but now the level that they can do it is just insane.
Extreme, yeah.
You know, a lot of these big businesses, they don't want a young man that's intelligent like Nas.
Right.
They want somebody that was poor, you know, dumb, willing to crash out, willing to sign their life over for, you know, $250,000 with no masters, anything like that, and who's going to say some crazy shit on live, die early, and now they have his entire catalog within one fucking year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
they make a shitload more after they die.
Forever. After they die. Bro, they take insurance policies out on rappers.
It's really, and
it's insane.
So I honestly, that's why I don't really get caught up in that. You know, I was raised hippie. You know, my dad was a New Yorker hippie, you know?
Oh, wow, nice.
So I was raised help the community. Like, if I can help you, I will help you.
Did you ever go to a New Eurekan poetry
Cafe? Yeah, I performed there several times.
I love that place.
I'm blessed to, man.
Such a great place. So much history there.
Yeah, so much history there.
Legendary Lower East Side.
So, you know, always about, you know, positivity and upliftment, you know? Mm-hmm. It's not that shit isn't hard. It is hard, but you can choose to have, for the most part, a positive perspective and twist on it, you know?
And I gotta ask you this too, as a dude from East New York.
Right.
Did you ever know Taxstone?
No. I was blessed to know like some real OG gangsters and
like Uncle Murder,
music guys. Yeah, definitely Uncle Murder. My bro PF Cuttin, who's like OG pioneer, like. He was part of a group called Blase. Like, I'm blessed to know, you know, one of the Wu-Tang members, Master Killer, is from East New York.
Yeah.
And, you know, my brother used to play him in chess, like, as kids. You know, we were the nice Spanish kids. That's how they knew. They didn't even know our name, but they know we could rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then one time they had like a really good game, him and Master Killer, and then people, just because, you know, Wu-Tang was, see, these are the little niches about that doesn't happen now, right? Yeah. Besides being ill artists, Wu-Tang had like a thing for chess, and they would measure your, intellect, like, you don't have that now.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have that where it's like, all right, we're dope artists, but you know, there's our thing, and if like it's kind of almost a subliminal language, you know.
Cared about enlightenment,
right? You know, about knowing yourself.
Absolutely.
And we live in an age where motherfuckers do not know themselves more than ever.
We live in an age where people don't want to know themselves.
Right.
In fact,
which is
shun
ridiculous.
They never want to know themselves.
Right. And it's just it's unbelievable, you know. But going back to just being raised in that manner, community, like, and you know, late 90s, early 2000s, hip hop was like that. But you still had to be nice. Yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, you still had to be good. Like, you would have to, somebody might check you, and you're in a cypher in the village. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta ask you, because you come from that prime fucking age.
Yes.
Nigga, how was it when 50 came through, bro? It must have been a whirlwind, bro.
Not really on the well, so at that time I was an intern at Sony Music, and he was originally on the Trackmasters, which was owned by Sony at the time. You know? And I don't know if they still are, but regardless, like, because I've been an artist and I know the industry, maybe for me, it didn't hit me as hard. But
I hated him.
One thing with 50, you could, especially the earlier stuff, you could feel the hunger. You could hear the hunger.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't know, you know, there's other backstories with 50. You know, he was blackballed until that, because his first joint was kind of like this in the industry. And it was a joke record, but at that time with hip hop, like, that was everything. You know what I mean? Oh, you're trying to play me, you know? Even though it was, honestly, lyrically, and you know, it was a pretty dope record.
No, it was good.
But to come out of nowhere and do that, it offended a lot of people, you know?
Wait. I'm a little.
So he had a record, How to Rob the Industry.
Okay.
Right, and he you know, he named pretty much every big artist at that time.
Every big New York.
Jay-Z, all of these guys, right?
Oh shit, okay.
So after that record, he kind of got blackballed, because, you know, New York was still running hip hop at that point.
Of course, yeah.
So, but he was the first one to go leave New York. By the time 50 came back here with what he was already huge in Detroit.
Yep.
He was already huge in LA.
He went down south.
He was big already in Atlanta.
Yep.
Oh, he left Tennessee. He left New York.
That is the new blueprint, and he was one of the first to really do that.
He was a pioneer.
Oh, so he left New York and went where?
And went all over. I mean, he signed with fucking Eminem.
Yeah.
From
Went to California, he went everywhere but
so
New York.
Just that's neat. It's not like he came up under a New York guy. So think about that. That says and so that kind of to me was the split of the golden era and why hip hop didn't continue to be in New York. You know, like the actual like the trendsetter aspect.
Yeah.
You know, New York will always be New York. But, now there's other cities that are very prominent.
Of course. Of course. And they have their own different sounds.
Right. But it's affecting New York.
Of course.
Well,
and it's changed. I mean.
But so what happened to me, one of the main divides is that like OG artists at that time, maybe not even OG, but the prominent guys, like up until that point, hip hop was very good at teaching or bringing up the next person.
Yes, yeah.
And like that was part of New York.
Of course,
and then out of nowhere, for many reasons, that stopped happening, except for like Jay-Z and the dudes he brought on weren't even from New York, except for Memphis.
No, you're right.
None of them were. So, and I don't think that was by choice. Talent is talent,
Things happen, you know what I mean?
But so like that, I think they stopped seeing it as part of the movement where you kind of mentor.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Can I ask you this too? Like, as a young Puerto Rican dude in East New York and shit, like, did you ever feel like you had something to prove when you stepped out there as a rapper? I mean, I know Latin people have always had their footprint in hip hop as well too. Right. But at the time it was definitely outnumbered.
So
real quick,
sure.
Just take your headphones and switch sides.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So yes.
Wait, one more time.
I was just
Puerto Rican feeling like you had something to prove.
Did you have anything to prove?
It's funny, right? I never saw that or felt that till you get to the industry.
Gotcha.
The industry was a lot
sense.
like jail, right? Like you and I could be like a lot of my friends were black. White, Latino. We didn't even think about that. We were just neighbors, poor ass motherfuckers living in the J's.
Survive, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Living in the projects, doing all whatever, and we never had like all black Latino thing. But then when you got to the industry, it's like, bro, the institutionalism is systematic, and it's not just in jail. It's in music. When you go to jail, right? If you're Latino or white or whatever you are, at first because you have to go where you're set. If you don't, you'll get fucked up by both of them. You know what I mean? And that's fucking facts. So getting into the industry, it became like that. Then it became about, up until then, we were just nice. You know what I mean? We were like, we had flow, we were dope, and then you get in the industry and it's like, oh, you're Latino.
Yeah.
And you're nice. Like,
So
that's when it be, but I never saw it as any, again, I was raised different, I was raised like New Yorican hippie, bro. I didn't really, even to this day, the same thing you asked earlier with the drill stuff, I just don't pay attention to, if it's not moving me spiritually, positively, part of what my journey is, I just, it's not that I don't want to pay it, I don't ignore it, and when it crosses my path, I definitely am in it, and I listen, but I'm very good at staying with my harmony, with my spirit, and when that moves me, And so I never really, all the Latino stuff, although I could sit here and tell you stories of when it came up, and even other OG Latino rappers in hip hop who shared that. No, they would share. They felt that.
Oh, okay.
So again, like I said, because in New York it's different, bro. Like there's very few cities in New York that's as integrated, right?
That is true.
You go to LA, you go to DC, like people are cool, but it's not like mixed, like blacks and Latinos. And I don't even like the term blacks because I'm very much about indigenous. Like a lot of us, we don't even know our true identities. But that's a whole nother podcast episode, But that being said, it wasn't in New York. It was much more integrated.
Of course, yeah.
And other cities aren't that way. You don't have as tight knit or intermingled
like
situation like you're doing
together,
right? So again, until it was really industry, it really didn't pay no mind. And even now to this day, man, like we had a record with Pitbull.
Yeah,
shit went #1 in like 14 cities, right? This is like mid 2000s, right? And it allowed us to really travel the world. I'm always grateful for that, and kind of build relationships with DJs and matter of fact, tonight I'm going to see after our segment, my homie from Chi-Town, who I met in this journey from that record, and I still keep up with, and he plays my stuff, on like pop radio in Chicago.
Nice.
And it all came from this song with Pitbull. But so we were always bent on staying indie, And so after that record, it's really, if you hear the record, it's not a reggaeton record. I love reggaeton, but that record it's a reggae flip, kind of. And what we did is Big L, rest in peace, had a record called Ebonics, where he was like translating. So this record was like Spanish to hood translation,
Yeah.
And then we got this reggae dude, shout out to Notch, who was in the reggae scene, starting to come into the reggaeton scene, and he did the same thing in like patois and English, and Spanish. It's such a, we should re-put it out because this shit was so dope. But anyway,
that's hard.
So we had all these offers from labels, and they wanted us to do a reggaeton kind of album, but we're from East New York. We're about bars, you know what I'm saying? We like, that's what we were about. So it wasn't like, and we could have probably done that, and who knows, maybe blown up, maybe. But if you're not true to self, it eventually will fucking catch up to you.
I feel
True
you.
to self. That's a great album name right there.
And I just want to ask one more thing.
Of course, man.
You were saying like about, I know I just keep asking shit.
Ask all the questions. It's fine.
Ask one.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask because I've been waiting for like a rapper.
Yeah.
Because you honestly, bro, like I watch shit like Joe Budden podcast, all that shit.
Right,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's the type of podcast I want to make.
Yeah.
So to have a rapper actually sit here, it's like a New York rapper that I can ask real New York questions to.
Right.
Is insane for me.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
No,
thanks
no
for
doubt.
having me, guys. By the way.
Yeah, no doubt. But I just wanted to ask, like, the whole you saying you don't really pay attention to things. Is this something you had to work on, or something you just always had?
Something I just always have. Like, even now, right? I would say in the last couple of years, I've put out more like electro-y dance pop because it comes naturally to me. But I never had to worry or even think about, I have to do this kind of music. Or like I'm really from the hood. I don't have to prove it.
Yeah.
So if I want to venture, I'm just about wherever the creativity takes me. You know what I mean? And that's a main reason why I know brothers like Kyle, because you have to live art, bro. At the end of the day, you have to live to be like exceptional.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are blowing up but they're not exceptional.
True.
They last 1 year. Well, like the
True.
lifespan is so much shorter now because they're not even trying to be exceptional.
Yeah, they don't care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they'll openly say it.
Right. And so if
Yes.
It's crazy.
yes, it may be longer, harder, or different. I don't like those words, but to the most of the listeners, but when you live the art, you are around where you're supposed to be around, you know? And that's how even now, like, I'm in the middle of a couple of generations, but I'm still at all the so-called young shit because, and not even like I planned it. Like, how I meet people and how it's just like on a whim. My bro Caviar hit me. There's there's a big art, music, fashion. That's like one of the lanes I'm in New York right now. Not even purposely. Obviously you're from Brooklyn. Stylishness is number one. Fucking pretty gangsters. That's how it's always been. Like especially hood Brooklyn motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like might shoot someone, but they fucking dress to a T. You know what I mean? That's some real shit though. That's some
pretty gangster.
If you don't live it, you don't. And I think a lot of people just are forgetting to live the art, you know?
Yeah, I can totally agree with you. And we were actually literally just talking about that. That was one of the last things we talked about with the girl that was just on with us.
Okay,
and
it's true.
she's going to be the episode that people are going to see before this.
Right.
But she was saying the same shit. She was like, she's like, people are losing their craft. Jada was talking about this, and when it comes to acting and dancing and stuff like that, like, people want that quick hit, you know, even if, or as a stand-up, like, you can, like, as a stand-up, the only place you can really cut your teeth is on that fucking stage, you know what I mean? Like, these people that want to, you know, but then there's people that want to get famous and do all these skits online and on their phones and on TikTok and shit like that, but when they get to a fucking real set, when there's fucking 100 people that are hired for that day and they're spending fucking $125,000 in one day for filming, can that person really fucking act? Yeah. Can that person really make a fucking joke? Nope. You know what I mean? Like, when those lights are on, when they're on that fucking stage.
Hello? I was just checking in. Y'all not smoking?
No, we're not. No.
My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Like, can they really be doing what they're doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I mean, that's a super valid point.
How did he just get in here? He didn't even press the code.
Or not.
He worked here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I assumed, but I was like, I didn't
yeah, somebody's definitely smoking in this building. It's been smelling like that all day. Like, well, whatever.
I think you're touching on a much bigger societal problem. We're like, in some ways, we're losing touch with humanity, you know?
Yes, definitely.
And these are things that are part of just being human, you know? The interact, like, I think people, well, first of all, we're not taught very well in our schools to identify how to build yourself up.
Yes.
You know, and what we even are. You know, we're electromagnetic beings that are pretty much magnets. We attract almost everything in your life because of your frequency. So people are losing touch with that. Like, people would rather be home ordering from, like, DoorDash, or, like, can't take a 10-minute walk.
Yes.
7-minute walk to the fucking store.
Yes.
And buy the shit. Like, we're losing interaction with human. And, you know, I believe at the same time there is an awakening happening. So I'm not like a doomsday person at all. But that being said, you have to address it for it to change. And you have to be the change yourself. So I would like to think that we're part of a sect that lives the art, and just we radiate that, you know, and more special things will happen for us for that. And have already, you know. When you want to be exceptional, sometimes you forget how many great fucking things you've done already.
Yes, dude. Yes, dude. The fucking word of my year has been gratitude, bro.
80,000 people. You know what I mean? I performed for 8 people. Like, and it's just like, because we want to be so great, we lose track of, like, and that gratitude, sometimes you need that to push you to the next level.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes. You lose track of where you are and where you've been.
Right. So,
because you're actually, while you're searching for that thing, that desire to be great, you're forgetting to actually just fucking live and be present in the moment and, like, 100%. Focus on your shit right there. And that's what I've been fucking going through. And it's crazy that we're even talking about it, because Jada was talking about the same thing before Phil got, and we actually talked about it a little bit while Phil was here. Phil came late to the podcast, but that was like a big...
He had to throw that little jab out there.
No, I mean, he had an issue with his bike, so, you know, it is what it is. But that's what her and I were talking about, because we are in a fucking transition phase for sure, and an awakening, and I think people are coming out of it, and people are waking up even more right now. And that's been a huge thing for me over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, is that magnetism, that attracting, you know, showing your light, attracting people and the vibrations that are on your period. What do you think for you is like your calling for that and your energetic connection for everything, not only as a person, but also like as your artist?
Healing. Like, music is very healing, you know, and like melodies are healing, like even jokes are healing. Like, art is healing, you know. Yeah. And I think with the commercialization of art in general, people forget that. Like, there's a healing quality to art. And even seeing something that could be downtrodden, right? It's a way of reminding you what to be grateful for, you know? And art, the best art, it touches on some of the dark, you know. And so through music, like, man, I've been blessed to be able to make all kind of records, and that the melody, like, to me, that's my gift, to be able to write these words in a certain melody that will strike a chord with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's my purpose. Everyone I encounter, and, you know, people will tell you that I know, like, you know, and I'm sure, you know, they're always protractors and detesters, but I'm very much a good energy vibe. Like, I'm the kind of person, if I'm not in good vibes, I don't even want to be around people, because that's not the energy I want to share with others, you know?
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
Because when you emanate that, you radiate that, you get that back more. So sometimes I've learned to isolate or just keep that to me instead of like broadcasting it.
Yes.
You know, you see these terms, broadcast. These are all scientific, electronic terms, vibes, you know, magnetism.
Yeah.
There's a reason these idioms, these slang things, because I think you can never refuse what you are. And like on a subconscious level, humans know what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
But we get so distracted by everything, you know, school on down, that you get distracted by everything else and not recognize this energy source that you are.
I agree. And I just want to know, like, you guys both were talking about the whole, you know, about how humanity as a whole is reaching an awakening. And I just want to know what you guys think the end result of that awakening will be. What does that look like to you?
Man. Well, if you go by like...
You're welcome.
If you go by like
prophecies and shit, bro. Like,
wow,
what?
we're gonna look back at this.
Oh,
Somebody's
good.
gonna find this in a capsule and
Goddamn right.
in another galaxy and be like, yo,
And they'd be like, yo, these niggas was on some shit.
it was on some shit.
It was on some shit.
But
and they're right.
I honestly, I feel like it's a transition into harmony. You know,
I feel you.
but at the end of something, it doesn't look like that sometimes, you know? You start a painting, right? And at first it's a couple of things and you don't realize it's going to be this beautiful harmony, or maybe you do, depending, you know, on the... So right now it seems tough, you know, because it's like a pendulum swinging, bro. Everything is math. It's just everything is math.
That's true.
Every single thing in the universe is math.
Absolutely right.
And we just don't know, like, music is math, right?
Yes,
Beats per minute, it's the melody, all these things can be accounted, you know. There's this divine math that holds the universe together, or the universes, or, you know, I was taught by mentors a very simple thing, right? In order for anything to happen, everything can happen. In order for anything to be possible, everything must be possible. Even if we're a hologram, even if we're whatever you think existence is, right?
Yeah.
If everything was not possible, even that level of perspective of existence that you are in would not be possible.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing random. Like, we get taught these things that just are not mathematically true. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into like, I'm very liberal in some things, very conservative in others. But there's just a lot of proof in the universe that something knows what it's doing.
Well, I think you're talking about divine mathematics.
Well,
I think that's the perfect
definitely,
way to say that, because I feel like, truthfully, spirituality and science are two sides of the exact same coin.
Yes.
But
It's
humanity
divide and
had to
conquer.
divide
Yeah.
the two. You know what I mean? To cause one to fight with the other. And I think there's a mixture of both, and that's where we're gonna end up, you know?
Well, it's because the drop wants to be the ocean
Yeah.
instead of
That's
like
a good one.
instead of
That's
being
good.
part of the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get this God complex,
Yeah.
but bro, there's so many signatures of the whatever you can't even give it a name. You know, you say the word God, people get thrown off. You say
course.
it because the ego, bro. The ego attacks what it doesn't understand.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, right? We're not these random blobs,
No,
right? We're like 98% symmetrical. It may be more. a lot of these numbers get changed and flawed, and because everybody puts their perspective, their ego into it.
But you're right, how complex our bodies are. Not even just us, animals, and how everything interacts with the world is shocking.
Did you know that 97% of living biological things in this planet have what's called the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah.
For example,
we were talking about the Fibonacci sequence with fucking.
Oh yeah, we were.
It's
yes,
the fucking, It's the curl, and then what looks like a spinning
spiral.
hurricane, like a hurricane.
Yes,
yeah.
Which is even how DNA is shaped.
the DNA. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
we talked about this with Somodomo.
Oh, beautiful!
But
shout out to the bro.
Yeah,
that's my bro right there.
Go deeper. Yeah, go.
But and so it's like this math is just there. You know what I mean? And people ignore the signatures. Like, you know, our body, right? Even while we're having this conversation, bro, is doing
so much
billions of things
so much
to stay alive, to breathe, to digest the food we ate. To if we had to think about the shit that our body was doing, we would die.
Yeah.
We don't have the capacity in the conscious. In the subconscious, we do.
Yeah.
But in the conscious level, we do not have the capacity to maintain it. We'd be dead instantly. So these are things that, to me, show a signature.
Yeah.
Something drew this. Something is this. Something, you know? And I don't know why we've reached this place in society where we can't it could be more than one thing, everyone. You can have creation and the Big Bang. They can coexist. Everything could. We're so opposed to coexistence because it's divide and conquer.
Well, if people,
that's how you keep people separate.
Well,
you know?
it's also too. It's like if we have coexistence, people buy less shit. You know, what I mean? People start sharing things,
right? And
you know
what I mean? Forbid that happen.
Looking into deeper thoughts of who we are as people, rather than gathering consumer items and all that type of shit. Yeah. And that's just the way that our society works for right now.
Yeah.
But
it is changing. You know, it's funny. You look at these. You know, a couple of boycotts like Starbucks, like McDonald's. This shit is affecting those companies.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and people I think are starting to realize the power in that.
Yeah.
And once that happens, and see the way everything works, it's all goes back to math and electronics, bro. Momentum. People throw these words around. They don't realize what they're saying are electrical terms.
Yes.
So momentum starts building, just like this negative air has been. We're actually at the edge of that pendulum swinging. Now it's the other way, but it takes time to build a momentum to that fucking harmony. And then you come back, and those are the circle, because, you know, this is all...
I see.
This is all part of the all feeling itself, right? So if you were this everything, and you were just always that everything, you wouldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
because you would be everything.
Yeah.
So we're like these little pieces of the everything where it feels itself. It's the manifestation of itself.
I think you're right, and it's all part of just the general experience, like you say. And also too, I mean, you know, where humanity is, I think we've went through a lot of different phases. Like right now we're in the indulgence phase. We've never had so many resources at once that we could all readily use. And sure, there's regions of the world where they can't, but there's regions in the world where they definitely can, and it's never been like that ever before. And right now we're like a kid that gets to go to an amusement park, and it's like we're eating all the fucking fatty foods and all the candy. Our parents will buy us anything we want to buy, and you know that's great and it feels good. But we're gonna start to feel sick, and eventually we'll puke.
Yes.
And then eventually we're going to realize that that's not really that great of an idea.
Yeah, it's really not that good of an idea for us.
You know?
Man, yeah.
So it takes time. It's all about learning, you know?
Just like the words and the momentum that he's talking about, like, man, yeah, fucking powerful in words, bro. Powerful words, man. Energetic. And I was talking about that with Jada.
Yeah.
Even text messages, even what you're typing.
It's
real.
real.
And I was telling her about how I'm saying my mantras every single morning now because I had a little spiritual healing session last week, and like now I got these mantras and I'm talking, and just by talking and just saying these things out loud, you start to get the feel for it. You start to build that momentum for yourself, and you start to feel better, even though you might not even feel it at first. You stay consistent with it, and then all of a sudden you start thinking and you start feeling these things, and these things start coming for you because you're talking about. You're creating that momentum for yourself, just like you're talking about.
Absolutely.
100%.
I think it just takes time, and I think you just have to be patient with yourself and patient with the world as well too, because a lot of times you make a positive change and the world is still shitty, and you get angry and you start regressing.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but just be the change.
Yeah.
Just be the change to yourself. Like, don't get caught up. Start very simply. You know. Yeah. Everything's like real. Everything's internal. You know, we get brainwashed into, at least for this last part of society before, you know, this harmonious period comes, you know, where we look for everything externally.
Yeah.
But there is no existence without the internal, right?
Well, the only true existence is within.
The only true time is now. There is no other measure of time. There's only now.
Yeah.
Everything else is
time
ego.
doesn't actually exist.
Right.
It's just the way we categorize things in our brain, and it's only the present, the moment is
right.
Here. That's it.
Right.
Have you always kind of like thought like this? Like, you know, you're
you
talking
know
about
crazy,
how your dad
bro?
is a...
Always. Since I used to drive my parents crazy, bro.
Oh, really?
Ever since I was a kid, like I've been, you know, I went to like special school. I was in special programs, you know. I'm technically a genius, you know.
Wow.
This shit I don't even tell people. I mean, but we're on a podcast, and
What?
really, honestly, this is
yeah, tell me.
So it's
Tell
just
us.
something like I've always been. Like I've always been a deep person. Always, and that's why I feel my purpose is the healing. You know, when you understand certain things just naturally, even as a kid, like when it's part of your vibration,
Yeah.
you have to express it. You know, you have to live it because it bothers you if you don't.
Yeah, you can't really, yeah.
Did all that, like knowing these things or saying these things, did this throw other people off when you were young?
Yeah, even now. Like I'm as loving and as dynamic and as outgoing and everything as I am, you know, I'm sure that after a while, like it's because I can't turn this off.
Yeah.
This is just me all the time. I'm enlightening all the time, and you know, I'm because if you're not living it, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just gave up on trying to be a separate, you know, and sometimes in the industry you have issues with because people just aren't deep, you know.
Of course, yeah.
In some walks of this of entertainment.
Most walks.
You know, and so like, thank God, you know, I'm New Yorican and I'm witty, and my grandma, shout out to her, rest in peace, man. She, you know, the charm and the Puerto Rican charm and wit came from her for sure. Because my grandfather was more stoic, quiet.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. So I deal with that with humor, witty, charm, just like, because why am I gonna get mad at you for something you just can't understand right now?
Yeah.
You know, that's like it's like a calculus like somebody being mad because, you know, and you're just learning to add.
Yeah.
And I already know calculus. Okay, but
I don't. Yeah.
Other people don't.
Yeah, give me a second.
So the humor and the like it allow, and also, let's be honest, bro. And this is from my 5% lessons, you know, which I'm a little more spiritual than the 5 because a lot of them think they don't believe in God, but they really do. Because knowledge of self is knowledge of God, which is
exactly
that is anyway.
You are God, God is you. Anyway,
it's that's where the humor and the comedy allows me, because there's two sides to this, right? The powers, I hate this term, but the powers that be, you know, use this meaning, they know all this shit too, you know? Yeah. But they use it to manipulate in a negative vibration.
Right.
I use it to vibrate in a positive vibration. You can manipulate someone for the betterment of themselves.
That's true.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
It's really up to you. And
yes.
It's really up to you. Because if you just have for whatever, everyone is capable of this. Mm-hmm. It just happens for some reason. Some people are, you know, in this time and age, but were born with maybe a different understanding of it. Maybe, you know, and that's where all these terms, gifted, and I really don't like this because everyone really is capable of it, but for whatever reason, some people are maybe more woken than certain vibrations.
Well, it's also what people perceive as gifted differs in each society. Like
100.
For instance, I mean, you know, you're saying you talked this way when you were a kid, and they put you in all sorts of different classes and all that type of shit. I talked the exact same way as a kid, and they did not put me in any of those classes. They were like, you need to go to a lower class than this because you're not paying attention to what we're talking about. So I think it happens depending on what society values,
100%.
what you're living through. So it's a really interesting thing. But I wanted to know can you give me an example of a way that you've manipulated somebody in a positive way?
Well, I mean, there's freaking so many. I'll come back to that.
I feel like that can be a tough one. You have to think it.
No, but it's even like with. Okay, let's say I made a suggestion to you.
Sure.
Last week, right? And I've made it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back a week later and you realize it. And you might not even remember that I told you, 8 times, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is just a real binding one because there's so many more. But, instead of bringing it up, oh, yeah, you see, I told you so. Like, instead of putting my ego in there, and it's all about the lesson. It's not the messenger. Everyone wants to get mad. Like, listen, even the most fucked up, horrible messenger can give you the most beautiful message.
Very true.
But because we're so prejudged and like judgy, everyone thinks they're liberal, but they're just really judgy.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
And so you lose the message because maybe some bum gave it to you.
Yeah.
It could be the fucking very thing you needed to hear.
Yep.
But because of, and so that works for both sides of it, as someone who may have a broader vision and perspective and can see, some people see their part on the chessboard and some people see the whole board.
Yeah.
Some people want to be pawns in this experience. That's the thing. You have to realize we are all this because we want to be to an extent.
Well, I think
we're manipulated
to
an extent.
Well, I think that's a good way to say it. And also just like you were talking about some people wanting things. And that's one thing I've realized as I've gotten older is that, some people are aware that they're pawns and they just simply want to be pawns.
Right.
Bro, like they don't want any, like things that are larger than them scare them.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of gifted kids actually don't end up really being anything because they had so much pressure put on them when they were young.
Yeah.
So it just built up anxiety. So they're just like, I'm just going to be a bartender for the rest of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, this is somebody that got taken out of classes with everybody else
right.
to be the next doctor or the next big surgeon of the world. And now they're working at TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just different, man. I don't know, man.
Could you speak on your, you went to a special school, right? So like, can you speak on
I went
this?
to this program called Prep for Prep, which is for inner city, urban, mostly, Latino and more. I like to use that term more because black is just a color. It's not even a real thing, bro. Neither is white.
Yeah, right.
We get called these terms, but
Caucasian.
And so I had to go to school on weekends and Wednesday nights to get in. I ended up going to private school, on the Upper East Side. Whole different, like, here I am from East New York, taking a train in, these kids were being chauffeured in, they were all like Park Avenue kids, Madison Avenue, went to school with like Donna Karen's kids, like DKNY, excuse me, a bunch of others. But
that's crazy.
It was so I had to, in the name of academia, but it was, at the time I loved it because I wasn't being challenged in the average school, and private education, I mean, there's a reason people pay $40,000 a year for private education, and it's because you're getting, like, by the time I was in high school, I already was studying things that most people that graduated college didn't even study, So it actually made for amazing music because just the different walks of life I was in, I was like Batman, I went through a stretch, I was hustling. I don't want to get into super details exactly, but not up to great things. But then in the morning I'd be, hanging out, going to the fucking Great Lawn. Actually it's funny because I didn't start smoking weed till, my homies from like the Upper East and Upper West Side,
Yeah.
Fucking the Liggets and, Goldbergs of the world, you know? And we would go after school and go to the Great Lawn and smoke weed and, you know. But it made for amazing. It was one of the reasons I knew that I wanted to do music, you know? Because I was able to turn that. I would always freestyle, even in private school days, and I was just good at it, improv, you know. Even with comedy, you know, I've been writing a sketch just because when you learn to look and laugh at yourself and laugh at, because some of the shit could be depressing, but if you twist it, and at least you'll get a laugh out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
But so that experience just it opened my vision, which is kind of what my dad was already doing, you know. Like you said, you know, earlier, I don't know if we were on the air yet, but you know, it's crazy how so many people are tied to their neighborhoods their whole life.
Yeah.
Even in big cities like New York, like you said.
Yes, were we?
You
Mostly
know,
in big
like
cities.
Talking about that?
yeah,
We
and
were,
like
yeah.
how
Talking about that with
people
somebody.
won't go to the city. You know, I know people from Brooklyn that, you know, I
never been nowhere,
haven't
bro.
been to the city in years, and it's like, really, you never went to
I know.
fucking.
I know.
And it's this limiting.
But it's also like you're saying, it's limiting, but it's also an anxiety, I think, from it almost in the way of like in the same way of like being a gifted kid that doesn't want to achieve more. It's like you're in this place that you know that you can go, like maybe not down the street because of what neighborhood you're in. You know what I
Right.
mean? Let's be aware of that.
Right.
But you can go to certain places and absorb certain things.
Right.
But it's so overwhelming, especially if you've come from a place that isn't so great, that you just rather stay there to not challenge yourself. You might be scared that like, yo, what if I think I can do more? I get there and I actually can't.
But you know what?
You know?
I'm gonna tell you what I've learned, especially in music. From my humble experiences, I think the opposite is true. I think people are scared that they can,
And
they don't. I've in my personal experiences, I've come across a couple of times where you get to a certain place,
that makes sense.
and someone thinks they wanted this their whole life,
Yep.
and they get there and they fold or disappear or they get nervous and
That's so true. That's so true.
I also think that's very much an American thing. You know, when other countries, even poorer, supposed, you know, quote unquote poorer countries, you know, you're taught early age to travel, to do different things. Like, we're not taught that here, you know.
Well, people work to. I mean, people like you know, work to live in other countries.
Yeah.
Here we live to work.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole thing of even the whole fact of like chasing your dreams. I know it does sound good, and my dream is something that I care about, but also it's like, how about finding out who you are first as a human being, and then, you know, going through the world and kind of discovering your journey as that. The whole like chasing your dream thing is really just finding a job. If you think about it, you know what I mean? You know, they talk about a dream job. That shouldn't even exist. Those two words together as a term should not exist.
Well, other countries, you know, have like stipend for artists and
That's what I'm saying.
musicians. You know, they pay your bill. Like, I think we've lost touch with how important that contribution is, you know? And even in New York, you know, listen, I don't want to get political, but, you know, there are no more instruments in schools. You know, they're not. There's these little things that will occupy your time and even make you more creative.
Yeah.
You know, and those things aren't there anymore. And you wonder why kids are going out and doing crazy shit. You know, there might be, even in the illest, because even in the illest situation, right? Something as small as an instrument could change a kid's life.
Absolutely.
You growing up in East New York, Brownsville, you know, God forbid somebody in your family's a cracker, even your parents, all the crazy shit we see. But you know what? That's your escape. Oh, you know, I learned to play violin. And you go on and fucking play at Carnegie Hall and all around. And even, like, it's just what we're allowing our time to be consumed by.
But here's the thing. It's like, kind of back to what I was saying. Even that, I think some kid picks up that violin and they put that pressure on themselves of like, I'll do this to get my, you know, obviously to maybe get themselves out of the hood, but like, oh, Carnegie Hall. But it's like, you can also just play that violin to simply feel better for yourself.
100%.
And never go anywhere. And I think we kind of brainwash ourselves to take it to this higher level that isn't necessarily necessary, and it's just inherently capitalistic.
Well, I mean, everything I say with regards to that is always in an artistic manner.
Absolutely, and I still want to do Carnegie Hall myself.
It's not like when art takes over your life, like the economic side will come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean more just as an avenue, a way to vent and release frustrations that are not, and you know, and the world in general, but our country is going through a very, you know,
tough time.
While this awakening is that there's a very big mental health.
A lot of shit.
Like, bro, just in the last 3 days, you know, because a lot of times I drive, so you know, but I'm on the train a lot too. Long story short, just in the last week, 3 different times, somebody has jumped in the track.
Yeah.
And this is 1 week just for me.
Yeah.
So like the mental health of our country is very fragile right now. And it takes artists to kind of talk about that and heal that. And, you know, my dad would always tell me, you know, say hi to everybody. You know, advice that most parents do not give their kids anymore. Yeah. But, you know, you never know whose day you change, bro. Just saying hi to somebody.
Absolutely.
They could be feeling horrible and just saying hi, like, you know, that could change their whole spirit for that day, and they go on and do something magical that day.
Hug, a smile.
Right. Well, you know, we live in an age where hugs are harder to come by. Hugs are dependent on how good looking you are.
That is true. You know?
Well, so is harassment for that.
But we
but you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, I think smiling is like the classic one when it comes to that. Like, you know, there's the classic story about the guy who, you know, said he was gonna jump off the Golden Gate Bridge unless somebody smiled at him that day or something like that. Nobody smiled at him, and he fucking ended up jumping off the bridge. And how many people did he pass on the way there? But it's funny that we're even talking about that, because there's a super, super famous painter who I just came across in yesterday. I think his name's Devin or Darren, Deron or something like that, painter. And he sketches portraits of people, and he started doing it on the train, and he would give people, you know, their portrait, which a lot of people do that on the train. But he blew the fuck up. Now he's got like 8 million followers on Instagram, and like his quote and his mantra is don't forget to smile. I think like that, something like that. I think it's don't forget to smile. And like that's just an example of somebody that's like, you know, changing fucking through their artistry, like making an actual positive change in the world, you know, that's bigger than themselves and outside of themselves. And you see how fucking happy people are to see this motherfucker when they see him on the train. They're like,
they light up.
I fucking love you, man. Like, and it's not like it's a little bit of fandom, but it's not fandom. It's like, you changed my life. I feel good. Like, you've made an impact on my life.
They're like,
I fucking love you.
Yeah. I mean, I think people forget how much it means to have somebody just look at them in like a truly positive way, you know? So, and especially somebody who doesn't know them. You know, we have so many people in our lives, positive, negative, whatever, and each look that they give us, we determine and rank and all that. But to just have a regular person smile at you with no expectation of anything, I think is a very powerful thing. But I wanted to ask you this. We were talking about awakenings. We've been talking about artistry and all that stuff, and the effect that artists have. Do you guys think that, fame will exist in 100 years? And if so, what do you think it'll look like?
Well, I think that eventually cycles come back, and it'll have to be about your ingenuity again and your prowess in something. And I think if you're really good and amazing at something, I think that is, you know, because fame, you know, it's a jaded word, you know, like, because it often has, you know, if you're exceptional at something, you know, fame may come to you without you even trying. You know, you don't even want it, right? You're just really amazing at this, so people will notice. You know, so I think there will always be that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where if you're really and hopefully, like even in this popcorn culture we live in, you know, exceptional stuff still gets noticed. You know,
that's true.
And but I think it'll just be less necessary as we awaken and our spirits heal, because more people will be doing it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think I agree with part of it. I think you're right. I think there will always be some sort of recognition, but I also feel that like because eventually I think we're going to get to a point where like all this artistry, because machines can do it and all that stuff, it's probably not going to bring you much money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we also might get to a point where money doesn't matter anymore. We all share goods. We get to this point, which, you know, will greatly affect people's perception of fame, because that's a lot of what it is. And I think you're right. Because of that, because there's no money involved in it anymore, I think it will eventually cycle back. You know what I mean? Less people are going to be doing different types of art because you'll have to do it and care about it.
You have to really love it to do it.
You'll have to
if
do
not,
it.
You won't do it.
Exactly.
Right.
Someone like, you know, I won't drop any, you know, I don't know, someone like Ice Spice or some shit probably won't be rapping. Right. You know what I mean?
I agree
in
with
the
that.
Future.
I agree with that. I think a lot
it doesn't
of
fulfill her on a base level.
Right. I think a lot of fame and artistry right now is very short term for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple people that will last, but you know, I don't care about fame. I don't think about fame in the future. I don't really care about it, but that's what I was gonna get to, and what you just kind of said. It's like, you know, does this person really care about making art? Because I think art has been prevalent since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it will continue until the end of time, because art and artists, it's something that's just within them. Like, you can't help it. Like, you're just going to be doing it because it's just what you fucking do. It's how you fucking live. It's like literally what exists in you. Like, you can't not get it out, you know?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I think you're 100%
So I think
right.
Yeah, so I think it's just always going to continue to live on, no matter what fucking shape, form, or matter. Like, it's always going to be there until the end of, you know, humanity.
Yeah. I just think more people will become artistic because they will be able to. You know, when money doesn't matter, like, I don't think people realize their true powers, man. You know, you watch these movies, you hear terms like quantum physics, and, you know, there's so much science on way more than we're told about things like the placebo effect. And, like, we're basically capable of, like, things that we would look at as movie-like, magic-like.
Yeah.
You know, that have been proven over. This is not new. You know, this has been, you know, and it's funny how Western science is catching up with Eastern theology in many ways, you know, mantras and you know, and it's been monitored through brain scans, and the benefits of things like meditation and like it blows these people's minds away. You know, it's like thousands of percent. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
You're absolutely right.
They're fine, but why doesn't everyone know this?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's because there are those who want power to control, you know?
Of course.
And that's the only reason why you don't know this.
Yeah.
Because if you knew this, we'd all be mad. And it doesn't mean that nothing would ever go wrong, but maybe there would be levels to it. And how we dealt with that kind of stuff as a human race or as a, you know, humanoid, whatever.
I think you're right, too, where it's like, you know, it is about control. It's not like if things were different, they might go wrong, they might go right. But these people that are in charge now care about controlling what goes wrong or right. It's not about what either one's happens. They want to have control over everything, you know?
Well, it's capitalism, man.
Yeah.
It's the reason what I just said earlier. It's the reason, you know, people that are paying $40,000 a year for their kids' education.
Yeah.
Because the level of knowledge and information they're encountering is, you know, I mean, compared to like the public school curriculum and you know.
And a lot of these,
we all know, man. I mean, what were you gonna say?
Well, no, I was just saying, you know, people might pay $40,000, but a lot of these people who go to those schools still don't actually know anything. You know what I mean? You know,
Some of them are put there just because they're rich. Yeah, for sure.
Simply, and they just get put through. And also, too, like, maybe their brain doesn't work in the way that this curriculum has been taught. Maybe they're better, you know, as someone who, like, works a field and learns agriculture and farming and, you know what I mean? And all that different type of shit, more technical stuff.
Yeah.
But because of the family they're born in, they're put through these different things with trigonometry and shit that they don't even fucking, they're not even going to use in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because, Their parents aren't even listening to them anyways, bro. Don't even.
It's fucking different, man.
So, bro, I'm gonna call a timeout in this. I'm gonna say, is there another beer?
Yeah. Cheers.
I think we need to get back to you.
Okay.
I think we've been on it. It's been an hour and 5
we
minutes
went
already.
Astronomical.
Yeah, we can.
That's what happens, bro. Weed and beer too.
I feel that, bro.
Well, I love all of this, but yeah, I'm down with whatever you want to do.
No, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I think.
But yeah, maybe we should talk a little more music stuff. And,
Yeah, I mean, let's just get back to you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
I love talking about this stuff, so I'm good either way. Whatever you guys want to do.
I know you do.
Do you have another beer or no?
Yeah. Would you like one?
Yes, please.
I know you love talking about this stuff, and I'm totally I'm not saying or dictating where this is supposed to go because this is free flowing as always. You know what I mean? I want us to have it. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want us to all enjoy ourselves and whatever. I felt like it was time to switch it up just a little bit though.
That's dope.
But what I wanted to get to
Do you have an opener?
as well.
No, I have a lighter though.
Yeah, where's that lighter at?
I can pop that open.
Man, I think, just going back to where we kind of started. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the beer, too.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get back to you as, a fucking, as a rapper and an artist. Cheers, man. Salud.
Cheers.
I finished mine.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good, dude.
Because, I wanted to see where you're at right now as, as a rapper and as an artist. You and I have been working on some stuff, and your daughter is a rapper and a singer. And,
singer and a rapper.
Singer and a rapper.
We talk about that all the time because, when you have these gifts, man, they should be used, And it's so crazy because she becomes such an ill rapper, but she was singing. She never rapped until like 2-3 years ago,
That's awesome.
So, but anyway.
Just so I can clarify a little bit more the question because I kind of left that a little open, and I talked about your daughter and stuff like that. I guess more specifically, like where are you at coming from? The late '90s, the early 2000s. You've had a long journey,
right,
in the game and rapping and stuff like that. So like, where are you now, and like, what does it look like for you, and like, what are you gonna be happy with? What's your goal? Like, where are you as an artist right now in the rap game, and the music game in general? Because you do so much in music, right? So like, where are you right now? Like, and where are we going forward with it?
Right now, I'm just more than ever going with the vibe,
Mm-hmm.
I started in music really young. I was blessed to start, and to still be young enough to do it now. You know what I mean? Because it's not an age thing at all. It's an energy thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still in that tapped in that creative zone where you're creating quality and relevance? Which they go hand in hand with music. But I just I had there was a personal time, a lot of family stuff that happened in the last couple of years that I had to heal from and just go through stuff in the music game they don't tell you about, right? The relationship strains, strains on if you have kids or not, strains on that. When you are immersed in an art, it consumes all of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you miss some vital things.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, it comes with your dedication to the craft and the art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And living it back to that. So I've kind of handled some of that, and that's well, and I've been very blessed to heal some of that stuff with my family and personal, private stuff, but even me just mentioning it is opening up about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, I'm just still blessed to have so many pieces around me that are prominent,
Mm-hmm.
and that are doing big things, and that, like me, lived the art. And now they're, my boy DJ Neurotic, shout out to him. He's in town from Chicago. And I met him, funny ass story, when we were pushing this, this got to be like 05 or something, right? We're pushing this, the Pitbull record, right? And It's got to be 2:30 in the morning. I don't know if you guys have been in Miami, but Washington is one of the main streets, down by South Beach. We're fucking throwing out these promotional flyers, and somebody picks one up from like a block away, bro. And he comes running like a block away. He's like, yo, I'm playing this record. And this is how crazy it was. This is back when you were fucking ripping music from like, things like LimeWire and all that, right?
Fair share,
like,
LimeWire.
Bro, he was like, yo, I downloaded this shit for free, bro. But yo, I'm playing it everywhere though. Because, back then it was still that line where that was offensive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yo,
That's
that's fucking fire. So you were kind of, that's crazy.
So-
you came through that whole digital revolution.
Right. We were some of the first artists to only release our stuff digitally.
Right, that's right. I read that about the
So-
bio for you,
Right.
and that was with T Weapons.
T Weapons, yeah.
Yeah, you guys
And-
were, because I kept seeing digital sales.
Yeah, that was because we were, and everybody thought we were crazy at that time. But
course,
you just
That's
you got to be
crazy.
aware of where the art is, and honestly, I'm not a big fan or proponent. Even then, but when you're indie, right? And back then, it was the borderline of these things were expensive to press, so it gave an avenue where you didn't have to press anything. We still press special vinyl and stuff like that. But anyway, to finish that story real quick, right?
Wow.
He picks it up and he's like, and we're both kids, bro. We're like, I don't even remember how old he was, but like back then, fake ID, like it wasn't like now.
Yeah.
Like the ID, it was not as ID driven as now. You need like a top, or you need to know the spot that lets underage people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back then, you could go to fucking
Some
grown ass
random bar,
clubs and
yeah,
be
yeah.
a teenager.
Yeah.
So as a teenager doing this stuff, he's out there with Def Jam. He's promoting Def Jam projects, and to this day, we've maintained a relationship. He's now like doing a big mix show on iHeartRadio, their pop station. You know what I mean?
Sup.
But he's lived it, and the reason I say all that is because when you live this, there will be bumps, but if you stay true to it, other forms of things will come in other ways to be creative. It's so crazy because even recently, right? If you get too caught up in like my destiny's music, bro, and every time I try to run from it, it will fucking
right
pull
back
me
in.
back.
Yep.
And even to the point where if I'm not following some of my talents and my what my spirit's calling, I won't make money in other ways. It reminds me, like,
Yeah.
Yo,
dude, this has to
yo.
be part of how you
That's
make
so
money.
fucking true.
Yo,
I've had that happen a million fucking times.
that's fucking
and-
true,
yeah,
dog.
like-
you gotta. Oh man,
And
What do you
even
think, man?
today,
it's crazy. That's what I'm going through right now.
So like, even today is a typical industry day when things are going good. I'm doing 2 or 3, 4. It's the momentum.
Right.
So I know that when I'm there, I know I'm in a good place. And when I relax and let that go, things will fall into place. So right now I'm working on an album, finally. I've come out on so many things, but it's so what I'm trying to do now, it's so diverse in sounds that I'm finding a way to kind of gel it together,
Nice.
on top of all the hip hop stuff, I've had a couple like top 5 Billboard records in the dance EDM world, that I've written or been like silent behind, or had another moniker, and so I'm just reminding myself, everything's a reminder, guys. We know all of this. Your spirit is infinite light, bro. It knows everything when you get out of the way. And the hardest part for go-getters to do is get out of the way,
That's very true.
So you have to work your ass off, but there are times you need to chill and let the work manifest into something.
Yo.
And come back and give you something else. And then you take that now and you
Yep.
go work that.
That's true.
So that's why I'm in the midst of that transition and helping to mentor and be a part of other movements and, like my daughter and like people like Kyle and Caviar and now yourself and just go with it, man. Go with it. I know that I had a big record on radio last year it was a pop EDM dance record, but I know I'm still relevant because here I am on these stations around the world.
Yeah,
So I don't get caught up in again. It's a reminder to not get caught up, bro. And that goes for life. That goes for my music. That goes for and to all of us. Really. Don't get caught up in yourself, bro. Like sometimes you can't take yourself so serious.
That is good advice.
Yeah, because especially artistic, types, we're so self-critical, man.
Oh yeah.
We're so self-critical and
and overly serious too sometimes.
Yeah.
But I wanted to.
So to finish though. So I'm hoping to have a couple of projects out this year and definitely and right now I have a song with my brother. Shout out to Ark. It's called GPSing. He put out a book. He actually wrote a book and an album that goes to it. It's kind of a self-help book. Nice. It's called Rerouting GPS to the Soul. And I'm on a couple of tracks on that. There's a video out now. I'm very much mentoring and kind of helping to manage Zoe in her endeavors as well. And so I want to put out a hip-hop project and also like a pop EDM. Because it's not a new term. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I've come up with this kind of melodic yet hard. I call it like street pop, right? Where it's the lyrics. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, real quick. Yeah. So when my daughter, one of my other daughters, had she received the Yellow Submarine CD as a gift, right, from one of her cousins in Miami, right. Mm-hmm. This thing went unopened for like almost a year. Right. One day I'm cleaning up. I find it. I throw it in the car. Right. Mind you, it's like I said, it's fucking collecting dust. Mm-hmm. That night, a producer friend who I was working on a project with invites me to this place. I think it was called Vinyl then. I don't know if it's still there, but it was like 15th and 8th. Right. So Yellow Submarine. I mean, it's one of the Beatles' most, highly acclaimed works. Yeah. Anyway. I was familiar with the Beatles, of course, because how can you not be? But I didn't know the depth of their catalog and just how a lot of songs had double meanings and this kind of thing. So I put this CD in. That same night, the showcase was at this place called Vinyl. And you walk in and you know what they had this big display. And do you know what it was?
They had a Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine display. No, they had all the Beatles action figure. Mind you, I'd never been there and I had never opened this CD. Yeah. So I automatically saw that. That's when the universe is talking to you. So I listened to this thing for like 3 months straight. Like not even hip, nothing else. Yeah. But Yellow Submarine. And it just taught me. I was already a good song maker and writer and all that, but it just gave me like, I don't know, it kind of helped me level up writing-wise, So my aim when I write pop music, if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's super melodic, and if you don't think about it, it's just melodic. It's still dope. Mm-hmm. But when you go back and listen to it, there's also more there, So I'm a big proponent of that because if it just comes naturally, like just flow with it. So I'm hoping to create music in several genres in this manner, always in line with my hip hop roots because that's where I was born from, but definitely utilizing this, this concept I have of street pop.
What made you want to start fusing different genres of music?
Well, honestly, hip hop is a fusion of genres, The sampling aspects, the different. You look at all the slew of records that have been sampled and styles and emulated. It's like all walks of music. I mean, there's
disco, tons of
disco, country, soul, funk,
tons of funk.
So hip hop's always kind of been a smorgasbord of different things, And so, like I said, not feeling like I have to prove this image of anything. Here's the funny thing with my music: like all my street so-called accolades, I hardly mention. I take a different. My whole thing is, you can talk about the hood and not glorify it and still be real and still be poetic and dope and not say how great you are because you maybe find yourself in a situation where you had a gun or you were defending yourself or you had to sell crack or pills or like you had to trap. You know what I mean? So it's all about how you present that, you know. And so I never saw it as a way, oh, because my dad always instilled, like, I want to set a better example for the youth. You know, so if I could sound like you, because I am you, but still show you you don't have to emulate and fucking idolize this and let it take you somewhere else and heal you, then that's what I'm gonna do. And that's my aim with music.
Where did your dad get that from? And
I mean, it was a different era. My dad grew up with, like, you know, Black Panthers, the Young Lords, which are kind of like the Latino, at least in New York, a kind of version. You know, they were definitely coexisting together and helping each other in their movements of that's the era he grew up in. The help your community, help your, but like in New York used to be so different, man. Like, people, if my mom's friend saw me somewhere doing something fucked up, she would tell her.
Yep.
That kind of stuff is just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And not just in New York, just
Everywhere.
we become so isolationist, bro.
So
so
isolated.
crazy how we can be so isolated and yet be so social, supposedly. You know?
Isolated and scared of criticism. Because truthfully, somebody would see your child, and today they'd be like, what the fuck do you think you're doing telling my kid this? And that? You're reprimanding my son? Where
like,
before,
which is ridiculous.
it took a village before.
It still takes a village, but we're not using it. You know?
Yeah, and and your dad were your parents first, like, immigrant
My
Puerto
dad's
Ricans?
from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom's from Ecuador. But my dad grew up in Brooklyn.
Got you.
Like, he was not too far from here, Morgan Ave. Like, he
nice.
grew up, you know, that was the Puerto Rico, you know?
Yeah,
that was little Puerto
yeah.
Rico over there. And in some places it still is, you know? So,
Yeah, it's still over there.
but
yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
very much a New Yorican thing, you know? It wasn't like, because it was mixed with the, you know, the more, you know, culture, the disco, like soul, funk. If you go back and now, like, it's funny how, whether it's purposely or not, the fusion of Latinos in so-called black music has always been there, you know? You know, Stevie Wonder, all the R&B soul guys of the
Davis Jr.
mid-70s, they were doing salsa cuts. They were doing, or records that were definitely influenced by things like salsa and vice versa.
Nori.
You know, and it's like, people don't, you know, hip-hop, when hip-hop was born in New York, you know, the same block where it happens, and I'm sure, look, I don't believe that one block, but I think similar things were kind of happening around New York. But, bro, it was like 75% Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
You know, how could it not influence the culture? You know, and even until recently, there are rappers and artists that didn't even though they were Latino, they didn't claim it. Because they felt they might be stigmatized.
Yup.
And that was the thing for a while, you know? Then Bad Bunny blows up, and now he don't even speak English.
He does. He does.
I know. But what I'm saying, his music's not in English.
Right.
And he's a mega pop star now. So that's kind of broken this, you know. And so he grew up in that era, and that was just embedded in us.
I mean, right now I think Dominican, Puerto Rican, fucking rap and pop right now is.
Yeah. I mean, Latino stuff has been killing it for a while.
I mean, dude, and also just like Latino people go so hard for their people. It's if you break through.
If you break through there, they'll love you till you're 80, bro. There's still
going
salsa
to be a legend.
There's salsa merengue artists that are like 60. They'll put out a new song,
and people just love that.
Go
the young kids love it. And that's why I really feel that metamorphosis will come in the urban side, because like there's like, if you're an artist, right?
I hope so.
You can really, and more than ever, it's about marketing, right? More than that. So like, you see some of these crazy videos, and you know. So what I'm meaning to say is that I think we're coming to it. Like, just accept the art for what it is. Enjoy the art.
Sure.
And don't worry so much. We're so caught up in the image. Like, everything, I swear to you guys, everything is divide and conquer, right? Used to have bands. Used to have groups. Now it's almost all solo artists.
Yeah, there's like no bands.
I mean, you think there's no reason? Like,
I went to the VMAs this year. and the one band that was there was something Skin. I don't know. They're like a European band, like trying to like bring back like, kind of like hardcore, like kind of like more like typical rock music, but it was kind of like it was actually it was pretty shitty, but but I mean, yeah, like nobody was fucking with them. You know what I mean? Like
it's a weird thing, and then it's also too. I feel like honestly, a lot of music is nothing but Black and Latino people now.
Yeah,
like before,
that's facts.
Like there's no white people who do music now. Yeah. There's like
Barely any.
5, and they're all like maybe like white women. Mostly, it's usually white girl guitar, and then like one white guy who's like a legacy act, like Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? You have the Kid Laroi. That's kind of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas before, I think we were kind of fighting for that space. A lot of times, I feel like now because of hip hop, it kind of shifted in this weird way. You know what I mean? It's
hip hop is pop. You know,
well,
it's gone fully pop.
That's really why it shifted. It's become now. It's because all the music people, all these fucking record labels, they were like, oh fuck, these kids love this music, and they're like, well, that's going to be the direction we're going to go in. You know what I mean?
And so it's bled into everything too. Like even the way that people write lyrics now, all genres of people rap now.
Yeah, they're all rapping.
What I mean?
Yep.
So,
rap,
if you look at all the
rap.
pop records, a lot of, especially alternative and super pop records,
all rap.
These are all like 90s drum lines, like, and the way they flow, the beats are hip hop.
It's all rap.
You know, and the way they flow on the like,
it's totally different than they used to, and like, even lyrics now have like literal meaning. Before they were so esoteric, it was just more just like these random words you put together,
Or if you're really good, it was both. You know,
yes, or if you're really good, it was both. But most places, even legendary bands, most of their lyrics just sounded good as words put together, but had no true meaning. And the sound was the star of the show. Now I feel like the lyrics are much more the star of the show than just the sound. People love the sound.
What?
I don't know what lyrics you're listening to, bro.
What lyrics are you listening to?
For pop music, you mean?
I feel like for pop music, definitely. I feel like
you think that lyricism is stronger now than it was in the 90s,
like
80s, 70s.
No, I'm saying people are listening to the words. I think people are listening to the words more. I'm not necessarily saying that. It's being some. I'm not saying Eminem is the king of everything, every sound. But I'm saying like before, you would just listen to. I mean, like, all right, like, what's an example that I could kind of give, I guess you could say, is, I mean, something like maybe not Taylor Swift, but even like, if there's some, like the Kid Laroi, right? He makes a lot of good shit. I like his album a lot, right?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, okay.
He's pretty good. He's pretty dope.
And he's pretty popular. He's kind of rising. He's like 19 now. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think his lyrics have a level of meaning that back in the day, a kid who was a pop star that wouldn't have that level of meaning. It's because people are trained to listen to hip hop.
I think he's an exception, though. I think he's an exception.
He's very good, but and yes, there's still drill music. But I mean, at the same time, I feel like I don't know. I feel like there is more. People do care about what you're saying. I think there's sections of like drill music, yes, sure, but I think that gets way overshadowed in the media that's the only type of hip hop that exists. I think they shove it down your throat so you can act like you hate rap, so they can divide it, so they can sell you good rap and bad rap. But truth be told, most rappers, bro, most lyricism that is out there, most mainstream rappers out now can actually. I'm pretty fucking solid, bro.
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, drill rap is only a small section. That shit is like 20%.
But I don't think that stuff is pop per se, that kind of stuff. But it is. I'm glad that it is, like the whole Griselda type sound. Yeah. And, those guys have wordplay. They're not just, some of them might be super thugged out gangster shit, but it's still poetic. It's still a pun. It's still, you know what I mean?
All I'm saying is if somebody can like, if there's a rock band or a more like non-rap act, they're also listening to the words a lot more intensely. Before, people were just more feeling the euphoria of the drums and the guitar and the bass and all that. Now you're getting fully both. That's my thought. Maybe
Maybe.
I'm hoping.
I guess so. I don't know.
So I got a question here.
Yes.
Can we talk about your scar?
Sure. Scar. You know what's funny? The funniest shit is that kids, they don't know better, for better or for worse, right?
They're like, you got something on your face.
I swear to you, every kid always ask. Meanwhile, adults are trying to find a way to avoid it or like not look at it. It's like, but yeah, this is actual real street shit. You know, it was Broadway Junction. So Broadway Junction, man, used to be like super hood because it was 3 points, 3 different trains, all kids coming from different schools. You know what I'm saying? Crossing paths. You know, the L was like Brownsville and Dark East New York, like the real hood side. You know, the A2, depending where you were. And the J was more like Latino. It's like the border, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and the M goes there too.
No. J.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking
A,
middle.
L,
Right.
J, and A.
Yeah.
And C. Anyway, one day I was going to school. Without getting too crazy in depth with it, somebody had tried to rob me and they cut me and ran. And
Shit.
How old were you at the time?
16.
16.
17 maybe? 16, 17.
Now, you were talking about, you know, back in the day, doing some hustling type shit.
Right.
Was that a partial catalyst to get you to
No,
start living
no,
that
no.
life, or did that happen after?
No, that was more just going, like my parents got separated, you know, got divorced, and it was just going through, you know, more teenage stuff, you know, and plus the influence was around, like, even as a genius, you still, no matter who we are, like, you do become what you're around. It's inevitable,
Definitely.
you know, unless you're like hopping in and out, you know, but if you're consistently around something, you, for better or worse, you will become it.
Well,
you know?
the most geniuses, where you guess they are? Prison.
Right. They was trying to. So,
There's a lot of smart people in jail.
yeah. So, but I mean, I never let this scar, like, the irony is that I'm quite the intellectual. That's the irony in it, right? But most people can't see past that. They will never realize that. They automatically put me in some kind of box.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm probably smarter than anyone they've ever met. You know, not to say that like that. I just say that for the way, how judgy we've become in general. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like, so people will see the scar, they'll automatically assume I'm like some killer.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, won't realize like,
Yeah, you're like a
and that's the kind of stuff I laugh at. Like back to what we were saying, the sarcasm, the way, because I don't care. You know, that's ego driven, like ego driven bullshit, man. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered the question exactly, but
No, I think it was a good answer. And how do you keep you talking about egos kind of this whole day in different ways? How do you keep your ego in check?
man, life would do that to you, bro. Life would kick your ass, but as corny as this is gonna sound, I try to think I don't really have an ego.
Yeah.
Because like I've like helped. I was just born like, but the way I was raised was just to help. It's second nature. So of course I have an ego, and I'm sure it's come up at like, but like I'm always about connecting dots, whether it's musically, whether it's entrepreneurially, and when you live like that, and you just that's another way. Like in New York, right? Someone will have the plug, but because it's not for them, they won't even share with their homie who might be perfect for that.
That's true.
And, which is fucking retarded to me. You know what I mean? Because it's not even affecting you, bro. Like, but I've always been the opposite kind of person, bro.
Yeah.
You know, even right now, there's people in the industry that I help put on, and many different. And you know, to be 100. Like now and then, you know, I'm not fucking robot, so I'm not gonna say I never have felt a certain way about certain. But then I look back and I'm like, yo, that's my fucking legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do I need my legacy in a movie? And maybe one day it'll happen, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? I don't need it. But and because I live that way, and sharing like my knowledge, because there's this thing inside me that feels that when you have certain things that others might not see, you have to show it, and you have to show them, and kind of without forcing it, you know?
Well, I think there's also the thought of just like, yo, like, not for nothing, like, especially when it comes to career stuff, if you're helping people out, a lot of people, if they don't want it, bro, like, they're not going to go after it anyway. So you can share the knowledge, and it's up to them to utilize the knowledge. Yes. I don't think it's something that has to be like held on to and no one else can see these things. It's like, bro, like someone else being successful does not determine your own success. Yeah. Right. I think people want to hoard things.
Well, and it's also, I think what you said earlier, I think it's this view that success is just money.
Yeah.
And like, so sometimes even this happens to artists, like, you're validated. Like, I've been on HBO. Like, I've been on, MTV. I performed all over the world. Like, I forget that sometimes. And it's like, wow, millions of people would have wanted to do that.
That's true.
And this just came, like, so it's about not doing it for the validation. And then the validation comes.
Yeah,
that's the fucking irony of it. You know what I mean? When you stop doing it for that part of it, because when you want it for that, you look at the Britney Spears, and bro, universe bless her, because who knows what the real story is, right? Yeah. We will never know the real story.
Jesus.
But like, these people, some of them, they say they don't want paparazzi, they don't want none of it, but their publicists are calling and telling people what restaurant they'll be at. And so it's you get what you ask for, man, for better or for worse, So it's just like you have to know how blessed you are, man. Seriously, in almost every way.
That's fucking true, man. I mean, I think counting your blessings is the best thing, and it's also just a way of relaxing. Like you were talking about mantras and stuff, and meditation, and like sitting down and like naming the things that you are grateful for is almost like a form of meditation,
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
It just keeps you in check and present.
It's grounding you.
It is, man. It is. I think that was a really poignant thing you said.
It's funny because so I've had to see, like, I took these special tests and certain things, and one of the things that they associate with genuine, I don't even know the word right now, but being a genius, right?
Yeah.
Is that there's this calmness about you, right?
Yeah.
So the earlier part of my scholastic life, like early teens, mid-teens, I always felt that, I have a quick story. Like, I play varsity basketball, right? And well, this was university because I was still in 8th grade, but I'm at this private school, right? We used to play the United Nations school, UNIS, they're called, right? Oh. And one game, it was the last game of the year. We weren't great, but if we won the game, we would go to the playoffs, right? So I get fouled with like 3 seconds left, bro. We're down 1 point, and it just this calmness kind of just took over, right? And I hit both shots. We win the game. We go to the playoffs. We lost the game, the playoffs, but whatever. But then when I started doing street shit and like trappy shit and scammy shit, that calm was not the same. You know, I got locked up for shit I didn't do, believe it or not. But honestly, I could be the ill rapper that say, yo, I went to jail, I didn't snitch. Like, these are fucking facts on my resume. Like, I don't have to but again, I want to uphold not just myself, but be a standard for other youth. Like, yo, you don't have to do that, be that. I think these wings are coming out where people are realizing, like, especially this year, that shit's taking off. Like, we can make our own fucking lane, bro.
Yeah.
And if you're real and your energy will attract enough people to do it,
Well, I agree. I think the whole concept, like you're saying, of real is changing because, especially in hip hop, because for so long, real has been like, oh, I'm from the hood and I shoot people who look just like me, and for some reason that's a good thing,
right?
You know what I mean? But now with all these hip hop Ricos, you see every last one of these people claiming, oh, that's my nigga. And then you go to the other room and you tell on him and you send him to jail for 20 years.
And but the funny thing, that's not just
records. 2 seconds.
That's not just records. That's happening on the street.
Of course.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because how do you feel as a black man hearing all that shit and like relating to your upbringing or whatever it was, right? You know what I mean? I don't know if you went through any of that stuff really, but like, I don't know if you really have that in your past at all, but like, do you have it in your past? And like from that perspective, or from your perspective, like, what is that like?
I mean, for me, I don't have it like in my past. I have family members that have been in like jail, like in and out and stuff like that. The most I've done is get arrested for like some weed and shit back when it was illegal in Jersey. So whatever.
Yeah.
Even then, it was a reward for studying for my physics test. So you know what I mean. So like, I'm regular, degular, bro. Like I'm a regular dude. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it's good music when it's coming from the heart. You know what I mean. Even when it has violence in it, it's good music. But at the same time, this whole deal where this became our cultural identity is where it becomes toxic and disgusting. You know what I mean? I think we have had this issue recently in the last like 20 to 30 years where black culture has become crime culture, where the whole concept of don't snitch is like a huge thing. And it's like, bro, like that's a cool thing for you if you do illegal activity. But like a 10-year-old kid living in a neighborhood should not be thinking, don't snitch, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, average people who are insurance adjusters should not be mad at a rapper because he snitched. You know? You could think he's a hypocrite because of the life he portrayed, but that's it. That's it.
I think it's deeper than that, though.
We could really get into it if you want to do a Joe Rogan
snitching. One. No, it's just that when you snitch, right? First of all, we all know this, right? Even to this day, right? People of color and people not of color get treated very differently by this justice system if they don't know their rights. And because of that, there's a difference to the snitching thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a
Which
fact.
honestly doesn't even exist anymore. All these fucking trappers out here, they're all fucking snitching on each other.
Yeah.
Left and right, you know? But it's the fucking truth. You can ask real street dudes.
Absolutely true.
They'll fucking tell you this shit.
Anymore at all.
But the issue is that everything else you said is 100% accurate, man. The way black culture has become like death culture.
Yes.
And which is ridiculous, you know. Yeah. You know,
we're so proud of it.
The culture we created has led, people don't know pop music came from blues and soul, and like it's just funny how it gets distorted and our own people don't know the magic that's been created from their genes.
Bro, and I'm so glad you said that, because that's another way that I think we keep destroying each other, where, especially throughout 2023, once, Afro beats came into play and Bad Bunny and so much Latin music came into play. Every single time you put on a hip-hop podcast, right, or live stream, it'd be like, hip-hop is dying, hip-hop is dead, hip-hop is going to be gone, we're going to be replaced, this is replacing us, oh, hip-hop sucks now, And it's like, not for nothing, bro. Like, black people, African people, people of the diaspora have created every single genre of music in the last century.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if one rises and one crumbles. It's all us. But what are you trying to divide for to hurt ourselves? That's the thing. We like black people, I feel like sometimes we delight in hurting ourselves and we don't even fucking know
it's 100%.
We don't.
I think there's just too much ego in hip hop though, bro.
That's true, but it's ego everywhere. And it's honestly, it's ego is the thing that has brought the African people down from the beginning of our existence coming into America. The reason that American slavery, not just colonialism, yes, the white man had his own role in that too, and it was a majority role, but it came through ego. It was tribes warring with each other, and we let these other people come in who don't look like us, who are foreigners here, and other tribes would give these prisoners to these people, not knowing where they would go or what would happen. They'd line their pockets with it. You know what I mean? And that's where all this stems from. It stems from white people, but black people had a very present and prevalent, role in slavery and our own subjugation as well too. It all stems from ego.
100%.
But
here's the catch. It happens to white people too.
Absolutely.
Because there's this misconception, like, okay, yes, obviously we know the parameters of color of skin in our country. We don't have to go into a whole segment on that.
Yeah.
But, right, there are actually more poor white people in America than there are every other race combined, because they believe there's this illusion that because they're white, they're doing better, and they do feel better than the black and the Latino.
Yes.
But if you actually check their standing, they're being bamboozled too.
Well,
this is not a bamboozlement of race. That's the how they get away with it.
Capitalism.
You know, it's a very few select extorting everybody else, and they'll paint it a million ways with a million coliseums, a million different things, but pretty much everyone's getting fucking fucked.
I always say this, you know, if black people have the black card, then everybody else in America has the at least I'm not black card. That's what's kind of given to them. So it's like no matter what subjugation happens to them, they will always put other black people, they'll always put black people on the bottom because they're kind of scared. They're like, yeah, I'm poor and white, but at least I'm not black. And I don't want to be
100%.
black. So I'm never going to bring that up. And so let's you know, talk about how much worse they are. This is somebody that I can kick and fuck with and talk shit about. And this happens of all races. You know, Asian people, Latino people, Middle Eastern people, they all do. You go to any corner of this earth, they all hate black people. This is not a American thing.
Yeah.
Darker is seen as worse. That is how it is.
Meanwhile, darker historically is the reason we have advanced in the sciences the way we have, in math, even in language.
Yes.
In many, you know, but this goes back to the cycles we were talking about.
Yep.
That's gonna change. It's
Of
just
course.
slowly changing now, much slower than we probably like. But you know, it little. To me, there's this pseudo society happening, right? The people that act like they follow the mainstream, but they don't,
Of course.
and they just don't say anything and live.
Yes.
It's more important for you to live to an ethic and a code than it is to say you live to it. Too many people are protesting against
Oh, yeah.
a slew of things.
Oh, yeah.
And very little knowledge of it, very little anything of it. They
Yep.
don't even know history,
Yep.
you know, and
Yep.
so they give this air that they care and that they're but they don't live the fucking change.
And the
Yep.
worst part is how
Yep.
they
So
weaponize
just
oppression.
live the change.
Yep. What were you saying, Phil?
No, I'm just saying how people weaponize oppression as well too. You was talking about people saying they, you know, live by something but not physically living it. You know what I mean? And just there's just a lot of fucked up shit like that. I think a lot of people. I think you said this earlier, where you're like, a lot of people think they're liberal, but they just want to judge people.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that is a big thing. Again, with social media and the cameras being everywhere, everyone wants to be there. You even think about the '60s. It's like,
Yep.
how many of those people just wanted to get pussy and fuck in the mud? You know what I mean? It didn't give a shit. Like, you watch Woodstock, right? And they're like, all these people are dancing and having fun. It's like, how many black people were getting their heads cracked open while you were doing this? Yet you're this free love person, and oh, look at this. Now it's 2000 and you're a Republican. Who would have thought? Who would have fucking thought?
I mean, yeah.
You
I mean,
I don't know. I can go on this for days. I mean, Black Lives Matter stole millions of dollars to buy mansions and shit.
It's like all.
I mean, I could go.
That's
real
why
deep.
the
We could go
awakening has to
crazy.
happen,
Yeah.
bro. Because all these causes, when it comes, and including music and art, when they become
Oh, yeah.
capitalistic, everything changes. The
Yep.
soul of it changes.
Yep.
Every part of it changes, you know. And the real, and I'll end with this because
It's getting a little
the
late.
real thing is knowledge, bro. Guys, we don't dig deep enough to learn our history, to learn real, and we are being fucking bamboozled because we don't know history. You know, people will support Ukraine, and I have Ukrainian friends, and I have all walks of life. I love everybody, honestly. But there's the truth and there's not the truth, right? And like there's just so many little things going on that people don't do their homework. They just go with the trend and they don't realize, oh, damn, maybe the Ukraine. And I never blame the people because too many people just go along, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't think every German was a Nazi. You know what I
they
mean?
weren't. Of course
but
not.
you would think that the way it's
Yeah.
portrayed, right? And again, it's because the lack of knowledge. People don't look into any kind of knowledge, and you would not be fooled so easily. You know, I have had arguments with people about little like just information. Just because somebody was wrong 100 times doesn't mean they weren't right one time. Now, I will hold them accountable for the other 99 times. But if you really, truly don't judge, you would take each time as a certain way. And when they're wrong, they're wrong. But when they're right, they're also right, you know? So I think we just have to open up. We get so close so quick. You know, something gets a bad stigma, a bad name, and automatically, like, we will never forgive that. But maybe they could have something that's of meaning to us, even though it's known to be something. My point is just let's just keep looking for the truth, man, within ourselves. Most importantly.
Yeah, for sure. Within ourselves, live your fucking truth and live your way, and be a good fucking person, and like just fucking respect people and don't judge, for sure.
Don't judge.
Facts, man.
So is there anything else that you want to like get off your chest or talk about in the next? We have 4 minutes, so I don't know if there's anything that's kind of come in your mind or you had written down or.
Not really, man. I just really I want everybody to really listen to what I have coming this year. You know, whether it's myself directly or affiliated with. We just do our best to maintain and live art, whether that is music, acting, you know, art, physical art. So I just want people to get in touch with themselves, man. You know, and not physically.
You want people to touch themselves?
Well, sometimes that's needed to, you know, release stress. But
We sometimes need to calm down. You know,
Hey,
I'm not
listen.
saying not touch yourself.
no, but really, let's look inside of us, man. A little it's that word. Things like meditation is so scary, the word. It's like, oh my God, what I gotta
So
do? That's a
loaded.
4-syllable word. Like what I have to sit on my head, you know, like and it's just like also getting, you know, ground yourself, get in touch with nature, man. Go to the park, take a walk around the fucking block. You know, and get in touch with ourselves, man, because right now these are tests of confidence and faith. You know, the people that are most afraid right now is because they don't stand. Mostly, they don't stand for anything.
It's true.
It's only about what they hear.
Oh yeah.
And whether it be spiritual, religious, you know, I don't believe in religion, but even as simple as faith in yourself is very important right now because there's so much information out there, bro. Good, bad, and ugly, that it could be confusing to someone who doesn't trust their gut and their intuition.
That's the main thing too, man. Trust your gut. I think a lot of people, like you're saying, just get fooled by the media, but also just like group think so much, and you know, but also don't put yourself, you know, don't be the, you know, the ostrich putting your head in the sand either. No, you know, you can be open to both.
And you know, it's funny you say that because I want to close it with this story because how misinformation works, and so. You know, you hear when the Ukraine war started, you heard a million things, right?
Yeah.
One day I'm online, I'm waiting. There was like some special, some exclusive watch that somebody had wanted me to get. Long story short, while I'm on this line, I'm hearing this Jewish man who was Ukrainian, you know, and he was telling me that not even 10 years ago, you know, Ukrainians were dragging Jewish men out of the house and kicking their ass.
They were, yeah.
During holidays. This was their holiday, right? So then it's like, okay, wow. Here I'm being told, oh, I got to support Ukraine. But here I am, from an actual person that's from Ukraine saying this. And it's like, don't forget yourself and what you encounter, man. Don't just trust information that you're hearing.
Facts.
Learn it for yourself. Learn something. Just because you read a story online or on a blog, it doesn't make it true. And that could change in the future. Check back with truth, man. We need to tune into truth. Seriously.
It's a big reason why I travel.
Yes.
It's a big reason why I travel.
100%.
And why I respect all cultures, and I like to learn about all cultures and fucking learn and see what's going on and see how they live and really what they think and what they're doing, you know.
100%.
So,
But I really want to thank you guys for having me, man.
No doubt.
Maybe we can do a part 2.
Yeah. Let's
I'll
do it.
freestyle on this.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
I don't know if we have time today to freestyle.
You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. You want to put some on right now?
You know what?
Or are you
I'm
tired?
gonna just give you no. We'll just see. Let's see.
Or you can just give us one of your favorite, one of your favorite things you've ever written or something.
Well, I wrote a song called Quentin Tarantino, QT.
Yeah,
So I'll kick this verse real quick. Now the camera's ready. 'Cause I'm photo worthy. They claim their hands are steady, but oh, their photos blurry. Only real ninjas get the clear picture. 'Cause in the crowded room, who's really there with you? So I take a bow and wave to the crowd. Ain't it wow how quiet traders, they fake it out loud. Give a great performance for a Golden Globe. Academy Award winners for that gold you hold. And we are all sinners, but you sold your soul. This game is all winter, so just know it's cold. They'll leave you for dead, like Beatrix Kiddo. Killed Bill, but it's harder to kill Israel, though. That's a fucking fact. Yeah, they love to act. The way I love to rap reveals your plot on every track. 'Cause I ain't an actor, but a great director. Conduct the streets over beats like the hood director. That's it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love you guys.
Great
Kyle, I
shit.
appreciate you.
My God, I love you too.
Thank you,
Hey,
man.
yo, Kyle and I got a banger coming, by the way. A
There you
real
go.
classic ballad for the ladies.
Nice.
For art.
Yup, we're working on
That's
that
fucking
right
dope, man.
now, baby.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, no
Working on
doubt,
that
man.
right
Is there well, can you give any dates for any project drops or anything, or is there anything that
No,
people
I would just
tell
say if people
people
could
where they
check,
can check it.
yeah, if they could just check the gram for now, Instagram.
Okay.
It's Iz The Realest, IZTherealest.
There we go.
Is The Realest.
And you guys know where you can find me at Phil Risden on YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. Kyle, you want to give him a little?
And ya boy, Kyle Glenn at Who's Kyle Glenn, WHOSKYLEGLENN, 2 N's on the end, baby.
There we go.
Yeah,
TikTok, Instagram, fucking whatever.
everything.
It's everywhere.
X.
Multi-platform professional.
Multi-platinum platform professional. All right, baby, love you, bro.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Peace.